Abu 7. A heads up here as we got emergency alerts going out stating that the largest U.S. power grid has declared this emergency amid all this heat. And they're talking about cascading events or rolling blackouts that are going to be going into effect. We've seen this over the past couple days. A lot of this associated with this heat dome that it seems like someone has parked right over this country and has just moved it from the west slowly toward the east. And this has caused a lot of problems for a lot of people. Right now, they're saying that people in the Midwest and Northeast are dealing with this, and that the grid operators have taken this to level 1, which affects tens of millions of people. And right now, the PJM interconnection is saying that this is at level 1 in 13 states. That stretches from Illinois to New Jersey. That's 65 million customers within that range that you can see here. And you know what's crazy is with everything that this Biden regime has been trying to do, and in the name of climate, this and that. Check this out. When it comes to what's really carrying the load here, gas, coal, and nuclear. Gas, look how big of a chunk of coal is carrying the load. Yet in many states, like my own even, they've come through and tried to decimate the selling of coal because of their scam. But it's truly what keeps the lights on in these crunch situations. And that is the latest here with this emergency. Wanted to make people aware of it in case you start to see more rolling blackouts. They've already announced that they will happen when needed. So depending on where you're at in the situation, just know anyone here on this PJM interconnection, you could see rolling blackouts sooner than later. I'll leave links. Join me for the live streams where I break this down further, and follow me on Twitter for breaking information. Much love.
Hey, this is what I do almost.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Makakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawadah from the Men of Valor campaign in Greenville, South Carolina, coming back with another video in sincerity and in truth. Lord willing, it could be edifying. And as you saw from the video from Dabu 7, the largest U.S. power grid, and this is where he got the article from, largest U.S. power grid declares emergency alert amid scorching heat. We're going to get right into it. Bring out a couple videos on Lord willing, is edifying. It says a heat wave continues to blast the Midwest, Northeast, and South through the end of the work week. And, you know, last year, around this time, they were talking about rolling blackouts as well. So, you know, they've been speaking on this last couple of years. You know, they've been speaking on dark winter for a few years now. You know, it's all up to the Lord ultimately when things like this are actually going to go down, as far as like rolling blackouts, power outages and whatnot, grid failure. You know, it's all up to the Lord, you know. But when these things are announced, you know, we will bring them out, all right, because that just shows, you know, prophecy is being fulfilled. You know, we're that much closer to, you know, all hell breaking loose and things are moving. You know, these certain scenarios could definitely kickstart Jacob's trouble. So getting back into the article, it says, forcing the largest U.S. grid operator to declare a level 1 emergency for Thursday as tens of millions of people crank up air conditioning to escape scorching temperatures as summer in the northern hemisphere peaks. On Wednesday evening, PJM Interconnection LLC declared an energy emergency alert level 1 in 13 states that stretch from Illinois to New Jersey with over 65 million customers. And this is what Bible 7 was reading, speaking on. It says PJM is concerned about maintaining adequate power reserves on Thursday as power demand is set to soar because of air conditioners. It expects demand to reach 153,286 megawatts as of 1700 Eastern Time. and has about 186,000 megawatts of generating capacity. It says the power mix of the grid shows natural gas, coal, and nuclear as doing most of the heavy lifting. As a, it's talking about military time, but that's not necessarily important. It says power prices across the grid appear normal. So they're saying basically there's a strain. This large power grid distributor or, energy distributor declared a level 1 emergency, right? And that was today. So, that is official. There's basically a precaution. All right, it's so hot, people are running their ACs, nonstop and whatnot. And it's causing a strain on the electric grid or the power grid. All right, just something to look for, something to look at. All right, as always, we're standing upon our watch. So when things like this, we kind of perk up. Like, we don't get overly excited because once again, it's all up to the Lord. But always in that mindset of any day now, the Lord could, have the lights go out. Any day now, the internet could go out. We've seen different little things go down. Any day now, there could be major runs on banks and, they start shutting people out their accounts and whatnot. Any day now, hey, things can get started as far as Jacob's trouble. Because the scriptures say, all right, it says, I'm actually get it. Peace and safety, man. Being in that mindset. We're not in the spirit of mirth. We're in the spirit of mourning and lamentation, ready to get up out of here. We do what we got to do. We get our daily bread, take care of what we need to take care of. But, hey, our spirit is yearning to get up out of here. Our spirit is yearning for the Lord to destroy this place and to deliver his elect. We want righteousness to rule on the earth. So when we see things like this, we get excited, We'll see. Maybe something happens. Maybe it doesn't. But nonetheless, we're being circumspect. You ask the average Israelite if they know about this right now, and they're going to say they don't. They don't know anything about it, nor would they even know what to do if the power and the lights went out. All right, a good movie to watch is American Blackout. Most of these Americans were not really prepared. However, now that I'm thinking about it, now that I remember the movie, there was a family, where it was an Edomite, dad or whatever, and he was in the mindset of being a prepper. I'm sure Dabu 70, he be prepping and shit like that. You got Canadian prepper, you got the angry prepper, you got different ones that be on YouTube speaking, and they be watching too. They be doing the heavy lifting for us, and we go and watch their videos. We can get edified from their videos, so we don't have to go in and, do all, the, grievous research. We can go watch them. We can go look at, different websites like Zero Hedge. That's an alternative media news outlet. And we can measure the time. And we filter it through the scriptures according to prophecy. All right. It's not always as far as what comes out on the news. Just because somebody say it's going to happen at some point doesn't mean that's always the case. But we do know what is consistent and what will come to pass. And that's the will of the Lord by way of prophecy. All right. So we bring these different things out. So starting here, this is 2 Esdras chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. Go sit down. Go sit down. Yeah. I'll come get you in a second. What's up? Here. Go ahead. Go in the house. Take it in the house. Salaki, this is 2 Esdras chapter 9 and verse 1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. All right, and how do we do that? By, we get up, all right, we check the articles, we check the news, breaking news. A lot of the, YouTube's channels that we're subscribed to, if it ain't brothers, then there's, like I said, these different pages that I mentioned, that they be on it, man. Dabu 7, he be on it. There's another guy, Dave Hodgins, he be on it. I remember Richie from Boston back in the day, a couple years ago, they done banned him off YouTube. But nonetheless, this is how we measure the time. We see what's going on, and we measure it by way of the scriptures, by way of prophecy. Okay, we measure it according to prophecy, man. It says, And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou well understand. Verse 2 says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. You know, when it goes into it, it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Lord spake of the Slakia, that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So we know when we see these things come to pass, you know, uproars of the people in the world, earthquakes in diverse places, pestilence. Close the door. Close the door. Go. I'm doing something. Slakia. But you know, the Lord, forewarned us thousands of years ago, even when Yahushua was on the scene, you know, a couple thousand years ago, of these things that were going to come to pass. What would be the signs of his coming? You know, so we know, we see these different things happening on the earth. We see Esau, you know, doing little shit, you know, causing this, first of all, the power grid is very weak anyway, you know, but nonetheless, you know, he could easily say, oh, you know, all this heat, and he could have enough energy to be able to sustain this place, and say he doesn't, to give him a reason to cut, you know, to pretty much cut the lights out, and, you know, be justified in doing so. Oh, well, it was the heat wave, you know. So we don't know exactly how he gonna do it, but you know, a grid down scenario, you know, the grid going down, you know, by way of heat wave or whatever. You know, it could definitely kickstart, you know, Jacob's trouble, a time like never before. And that's what we watch for it. But as for you people, you don't watch, and it's going to come upon you as a thief. All right, this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, but of the times and seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Right, any day now this thing can go down. All right, stay ready so you don't got to get ready. Stay ready in the spirit first and foremost. All right, you can have waters on deck, you can have food, cool, but that alone is not going to deliver you. You know, you're not going off if you have it, but we're not in the mindset of just overly prepping. Because the Lord can have things go down and you're not even at home to reap the benefits of the things that you've, you know, pretty much heaped into yourself. All right, that's what's going to be for these different preppers and whatnot. The Lord will have them to where they, you know, they could get put to death rather quickly, or they're not even at home to get that. And the Lord leads a brother to that stock, to that stash, you know. But we understand that the Lord is coming as a thief. That's why he said, watch. He continued to say, watch as well as pray. Verse 3, it says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. See? All right, it's going to come suddenly, you know, as a thief. When they say peace and safety, oh, everything's all good, we looking up, you know, we got this football season about to come in, you know, the Lord can make it go down. And most of these people ain't even paying attention, man. All right, so this just, you know, something we look for, you know, not saying anything big is going to come of it, but, you know, we like spiritual weathermen. We, you know, we tell you what's going on. You know, we keep up with it. We feed the sheep, you know, keep the sheep on game, you know, that watch. You know, and we just watching as well as waiting, man, you know, but also bringing out the scriptures, edifying and exhorting the sheep, man. And we're going to continue to do so, Lord willing. So once again, Lord willing is edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom.